This is the video lesson for the 3.04 Free from Fear assignment. And it says the speeches you've read in this lesson were delivered at very different times in Americans' history, and yet they address many of the same themes and concerns. And remember that the two speeches that you read, one was in this lesson, 3.04, that was Obama's speech, and then there was one in 3.03, and that was from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It says, do both speakers want the audience to think, feel, or do the same thing? In one speech, President Roosevelt addresses the entire nation. In President Obama's speech, he spoke to a relatively small crowd during a welcoming ceremony. In what ways is the historical context important? Reading the speeches using different critical lenses or perspectives should help you in your analysis. Then you scroll down here, and here are the assessment instructions. It says, for this assessment, you must determine your ability to think and read critically by writing a 4-paragraph compare-contrast analysis essay. You will use one of the critical analysis perspectives from the lesson. So remember that there were those 3 different perspectives. You were supposed to read about all of them, and you were going to just choose one of them, and you're going to write from that perspective. So for the historical biographical analysis, it says, has the idea of freedom from fear changed over time? Compare and contrast both speeches to answer this question. Okay, so the second one is gender analysis. Is the freedom from fear a concern for both men and women equally? Compare and contrast both speeches to answer this question. Or you will use the economic political analysis. Are the poor and the wealthy equally concerned about the freedom from fear? Compare and contrast both speeches to answer this question. Okay, and then you're going to organize your paragraphs using the wedding cake model, which you did learn about already, but if you click here, it will open that up also. Then you're going to compose your compare-contrast essay using direct evidence from the text, which means that you need to actually quote the text, or say in the text it says, in Roosevelt's speech, he said this. In Obama's speech, he said this. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a direct quote. Direct quotes are good, but also a paraphrase is good, but make sure you give credit where credit is due. And then be sure to include commentary and insights from your personal experiences, observations, and other readings. And then look at the sample right here. You can click on that, and that will show you a sample of what makes a good paper, one that's going to get a good grade. So in order to do the assignment, you're going to have to complete all the reading, which you should have already done even before you started this video. You're going to go through the President's 4 Freedoms speech, Roosevelt's, and then Barack Obama's welcoming remarks speech. And then you're going to choose one of those analyses, the gender one, the history one, or the economical political one. And then you're going to write your essay using the wedding cake strategy. Okay, so let's, I'm going to open up a document. This is actually going to be a Google document because I know that everybody has access to that through your school account. And I'm going to show you what I expect this to kind of look like. Here's the Google Doc. And the first thing you need to do when you create this assignment is you need to make sure that it's double spaced, which you can do by clicking here and then going to double. The next thing I need from you is I need you to include this information, your name, the class name, which is English 2B, that's good, and then the assignment name, which for this class, for this assignment, it's Free from Fear, compare, contrast essay, and then the date on which you submitted it. You will then go to the next line, center it, and give it a creative title. Don't call it creative title, actually give it a creative title. Go to the next line, move it back to the left, and hit the tab key to indent. Every paragraph should be indented. The first paragraph will be the introduction. The second paragraph, you're going to talk about one of the speeches. The third paragraph, you're going to talk about the other speech. And the final paragraph, you will wrap it up. Make sure to include a thesis statement that supports the perspective from which you are writing. If you need help with this, come to class, and I will help you out. Good luck.